What's up, people? We are live, and I'm in the shop. Yes, the Wi-Fi allegedly actually works well enough, so I thought I would do the best job I can to bring you here in the shop when I'm actually working on the King Zero, because I don't have a camera crew. I know some of you really want to see some work, and that is difficult for me to do. So I'm going to do the best job I can, showing you what's going on, just talking about fun stuff, so you guys can write and say, hey, what's up? Of course, you can do the, I forget what it's called, the like super question thing, little monetary thing. You can buy the opportunity to ask super questions if you want to talk about fabrication, any of the race cars behind, or just get in there and do some stuff. We can do that too. Yeah, super chat. I appreciate that from Ismail. That's very helpful. So I think it's gonna be pretty fun. Obviously, you guys, here is the King Zero build. You can see the wireframe. Actually, it's a pretty good view that I've been painstakingly working on. I like you guys all saying, what's up, people? Yes. I like the one, I'm a machine, by the way. Yes, nice. Trooper 913, Carl Mueller. Awesome. Anyway, guys, so doing the wireframe right here. And something that I'm kind of coming to realize is how many people are sort of astonished about the ability, or maybe never thought about taking something from two-dimensional to a drawing, blowing it up on a big giant wall here, and then translating that to 3D. So I thought we'd talk about it, just kind of go over. And it says, do you see comments about cameras instead of windows? Yeah, I did, but like that gets tricky, man. And then I have to have monitors that don't blind me at night and stuff. I like windows. I'm old school. I like using my googly eyes. Someday I'll make a car with no windows. It's all VR. That would be cool. But until then, I like windows for this one. Somebody says, tell us behind the scenes on the C4. There it is, dude. I bought it for 10 grand. It has too low of oil pressure. So at some point, when I get the King Zero to a point where I don't have to be freaking out about it, I'm going to yank the motor and we'll be going through a small block Chevy. But I think it's going to be an awesome hot rod slash track car slash race car slash everything. And it's just a bitchin' C4, and I really like that, all American. Maybe you guys got some cool ideas. What's up, Bella Luna? You got a crazy fox. I like it. So I'm glad you guys like the C4 back there. Somebody said that's how boat builders do it, 2D to 3D. Yeah, Luke, I appreciate you saying that. You're right. Let's see, so I'm gonna make a video driving the Indy car. We will, when it's not a giant paperweight. It needs money and time thrown at it, you guys, of which I have a little right now. Somebody said, who's the guy in the back? Where's the guy in the back? Aaron, you back there?
I'm the guy in the back.
Wait, they can't see you yet. There's a guy in the back. What are you, lurking? That's Aaron. He's a Genius Scratch student working on the Lycan. What you got, man?
Absolutely nothing.
Here, you talk to him. I'm gonna look at comments here right now.
Hi, I'm Aaron. I'm a student in Genius Garage with Casey, obviously. I've mainly came to work on race cars, but I eventually got moved to the Lycan project back there, and I'm enjoying my time here.
Well, right on, man. Well, I enjoy having you here. It's sort of the end of the day, so they're bugging out. You sticking around? You taking off?
I'm going to stick around for a wee bit.
Oh, he's sticking around. Are you going to dance in the background and stuff?
We'll see.
It gets all kinds of weird in here, you guys. With copyrighted music, I can't play. Okay, so what's going on? Somebody says, what's up with the dinosaur in the ceiling? Whoa, flashing some. Pterosaur is pretty big, you guys. That's a 38-foot wingspan. Like, look here. Look at the size of the cars in the back. Look at all these cars. See all these cars? And look at the wingspan of the flying pterosaur. Yeah, it's bigger than Aaron. It's kind of hilarious, dude. Do it again. Yeah, you got some jump on you there, man. And look at the tiny airplane. Okay, so anyway, I built it. It flies. No one else built a full-scale one. It was cool. Somebody says, get the dubstep going. I dig that. This person writes, Casey Poot. That's okay. If you spell my name wrong, I don't mind. And the Avalon King Zero, a car built by a machine more pleasurable than your first sexual encounter. We bring you the fastest, most purest, and most pleasurable Avalon King. God, you know, like the problem with this is I have to read the comments before I read them out loud. Just keep it PG, guys. That's okay. I like comedic thing. Somebody writes, hi, Casey, how do you like the Porsche 987 Cayman? I think it's a Boxster with a hardtop, a Boxster coupe, or Cockster, as Jeremy likes to put it. And it's perfectly fine everyday car. What's up, Bell Luna? All right. Content, the Porsche snobs driving up prices. No, they're not. We just beat those Porsche snobs down. We'll keep the 944 prices where they should be so real car guys and gals can get them. Yes, take that, snobs. Go back to the PCA. Okay, so I just made some enemies there. Whatever. Hey, David says hi from Indy. What's up, David? Let's see. What else we got here, you guys? So who wants to talk? Anybody got stuff you want to talk about on coach building or any of the other cars? That could be some fun. Somebody says, don't talk too much. It's late here in Sweden. All right, Angie, sweet. Get your wish. I'm going to talk quietly. so as to not wake up the Swedes. I'm not being sarcastic. For this moment, go to sleep, nice Swedes. Okay, that's all I got. Let's go back to making noise. Like Americans do. Yes. All right. I'm all kinds of ridiculous. Somebody says, hi from Washington, D.C. or state? When are you going on VinWiki again? Actually, a story next week, I think you may like. So stay tuned on VinWiki. What's happening with the interior of the Lycan? All right, so back there you can see on the table here is a bunch of sheet metal and tools, and the interior is out because the guys are working on the rear firewall area, and they're doing a really good job. So we're doing the final stuff before we get the body ready to start getting in order to paint. So that's what's going on there. What's up, South Africa? And Westerville, Ohio. Hi from the UK. Awesome. Okay, so somebody writes something interesting. Have you ever done a stroker kit on any of your builds? No, because stroker kits are cool, especially with small block Chevys to make more displacement, but they're illegal for vintage racing type things unless you're building a Can-Am car or something. So that doesn't really work, and I'm not really a cheater. Sorry, I know racing's that way, but I'm just more into sportsmanship than these old guys with money and vintage racing. You know who you are, and so do I. Anyway, so I don't really do strokers. I bought a crate motor that was already a 383 stroker once, but that was the only time that was for a street car. Anyway, a lot of nice things going on here. Guys, somebody said, have you ever considered putting on a car show to support Genius Garage? Would love the chance to be able to pursue the cars being built and project they're working on. Trouble with car shows is, man, I've done these things. It's a massive amount of time and effort for not that much return. And I'm spending all my time building cars and doing Genius Garage, so it doesn't really work out on a bare sort of business brass tacks sort of thing. Somebody says, where will the mirrors in the King Zero go? Where they work the best. Yes, actually, I am going to have to put a periscope. I'll run back and show you guys that. Let's see, do I have a mirror around here to show? Aaron, are there any rear view mirrors floating around this joint?
We still have the Ducati mirror somewhere.
Oh yeah, where are they?
I think, yeah, we should have put them back.
We have just gobs of crap here, you guys. Look behind the scenes. Look at our junk pile. We're like those weird little people 3/4 of the way through the 80s movie Labyrinth with all the junk. Yeah. Who knows what I'm talking about there? That's obscure.
They're quite small.
Oh, okay. So these are not the mirrors I'm going to use. These are from my wrecked Ducati. You guys remember that last year? So in the original design of the King Zero, you guys, the mirrors were incorporated into this triangular opening here that you can see through the window. I don't think they worked worth a darn. So you could put mirrors on it sort of down here like that, which I would want them to look a little bit better than this, but that's a possibility. And then the car will need a periscope type mirror to be able to see out the back like this. I could put a camera on it, but I think the periscope thing is kind of a sweet idea. So there'll be something up there. Not this ugly thing, something much better looking. Do I sound like a politician making promises? I swear it'll be beautiful. You're going to love it. People will rejoice. We'll make lots of money. The stock market will be up. Yeah, it's always usually BS, isn't it? Except I actually do things. Okay. All right. So anyway, oh my goodness gracious. Live. It's all kinds of all over the place. Somebody writes, are you planning on having one of Launch's historical liveries on the King Zero? Hello from Argentina. Not necessarily, because those people paid race car people back in the day. So I'm not about giving people free advertising. And I think we can come up with some sort of beautiful paint scheme that harkens to the art of the car. Really just want to keep it with the art where this is going and showcase that. And not like, let's look at the past and be inspired by it. Let's bring it forward to the future. So I'm kind of into that. I got a nice live chat, super chat. Somebody writes, such a cool project. Saw the VinWiki video and the update and followed the channel ever since. Super legit project. Boom, from Tyler. Hey, man, I appreciate it. And thank you for saying that. All right, you guys. Somebody writes, remember the periscope on the early Countach? Yeah, great point. I don't know how great that worked. I never got to be in one of those early Countaches. This car, that wouldn't work so well on because of the design at the top incorporating it. So you kind of have to have a snorkel thing coming up. I kind of dig that. It's just funky and weird. Greetings from Greece. I appreciate it. So I thought I would tell you guys, man, you guys are blowing me up. I appreciate it. Electroluminescent paint. That'd be kind of cool. Kind of kitschy or whatever, but we'll see. How much does the V12 weigh? I don't know. It's aluminum. A lot, a little, a decent amount. It's V12. Do you guys want to take guesses on what this thing will weigh when it's done? I'm going to guess 3,000 pounds since I'm coach building out of steel. It's going to weigh a little more, but it's still a small car with aluminum V12. I don't know. We'll see there. Somebody writes, needs some stents, brah. No, it doesn't, because I know how to build a car that handles. Somebody writes, honest opinion on 12-volt Cummings. I don't know. Sorry, start the V12. I will just start it magically with no wiring or any sort of plumbing hooked up to it. No, sorry, man, it's not ready. Hello to Angel, thank you. Somebody from Red, White, and Boosted writes, did you consider adding an upper control arm rather than keeping the McPherson design in the front? Seems it would yield more room for driver and passenger. That is a great point, guys. Let's talk about that. So McPherson, what this person here is talking about, let's just get into it. So here's your wheel, and I'll even turn this toward the camera. Hopefully you can see it better. So this is the top of the shock tower right here, and a McPherson strut. The shock is also the pivot point here, and also the locator of the top of the suspension. The reason for that is, if this had an upper A-arm, the A-arm would come to over here, and your leg needs to be here, and that's the problem. The reason the McPherson is valuable, it gives you a massive amount of room in between for it. That is actually, in fact, how the original prototype was, and is frankly the reason why I chose largely the Porsche platform and suspension, because it was the best McPherson type bulkheads and suspension I could get, especially for the money. So doing it with upper and lower A-arms, you'd have to get really funky to make it work, and it would just intrude in the cockpit. So it doesn't work out as well. That's the whole point of McPherson. There's nothing wrong with McPherson. Porsche's been winning loads of road races for a very long time with it. So, you know, hey man, it works. What you want from me? Now, somebody here, Chef Fox, writes, do what you do best, Casey. Build, teach, inspire, and have fun. I appreciate it. Thank you very much for saying that. What about rants? I thought I was pretty good at that. Okay, maybe less of that, right? So somebody writes here, for cooling, you could put the radiators right at the very back, use the upper side scoop for an air intake, have the air flow over the wheel well, and then out the back of the car. That's a great point. I don't know if you guys will see it. I'll try to project my voice better. So we talked about how I was going to grab the air from underneath the car and channel it to a mid-mounted radiator as it basically flows up the back of the monocoque where the driver sits. Then it'd make like a normal car engine with a front-mounted radiator, and it can come out. I'm going to invert all of the strakes of the hood to create a lower pressure at the top to direct hot air out the top of the car. When you bring air basically from a low area to a high area, that helps get rid of lift and such. You do have the big opening in the back of the car to create low pressure, which is nice. So you could draw radiator air through that. However, I like things to cool real well. So the only place, I mean, if you put the radiators in the back, you're going to either be getting engine air or you're sucking the air from the top of the car, which isn't great for high-speed aerodynamics. So I'm working on it. The other thing is I'm really thinking about quad turboing this thing next year, because why not? It's absurd. Because I want to. Why not? And in doing that, what I'm thinking is that the intercoolers, I'm going to want this area here for the intercoolers, and then I'll bring the intercooler air in from low down the sides, and that, of course, will be directed out. I'm going to use this upper area that comes in right about here for the intakes for the motor. So I think that's really the way I'm going to go. And then with regard to the back, I'm going to leave some of that open, that if I just can't get enough water cooling for the motor at that point, I can add some there if need be. So I think that's where I'm going to go with the cooling, you guys. All right, Tales from the Junkyard here writes, just want to say this is an awesome project and I love watching it come to fruition. I hope to one day build my own dream car on my channel, but till then, keep up the good work. Hey man, I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's helpful being a part of it. I hope this is inspiring you guys, because, you know, and I have to say there are some very nice people out there that do metal forming and shaping where you can get some of these ideas. So for the people that just are astonished by taking something from a two-dimensional drawing, blowing it up to a big two-dimensional drawing, and then translating that to something three-dimensional like this, I got a couple of things to say. One, I'm not that special, okay? What I'm doing now is exactly what everybody did in the 50s and 60s and before building cars, the 30s, the 20s, just all of the time period before computers. This is what you did to prototype or make bespoke cars and things. Also, somebody's writing me here. I got to get it. I don't want to miss you guys. This person here writes, I assume the taillights will be LED, but will they span the full rear or be segmented? It'll span the full rear. They'll be LED, yes. And then the headlights will also be high projection LED coming out of there, which will be coming up real soon, because I got to get the headlights in there to fit. Where was I? Guys, help me. What was I just talking about? Oh, I'm not doing anything that's special. I'm just doing something that was important back in the day that everybody forgot about and doesn't care. You see, back in the 50s, when people would build race cars, they weren't into aerodynamics that much in the 50s, even though in aerospace industry, we were already going stupid fast. But in cars, we were kind of dumb. We just made pretty things. Like, Ferrari Testarossas and Jaguar D-types. You know what I mean? They were kind of slippery, but not really. But this is how they made them, because it was fast. And you could draw something beautiful and make it like that. And people would make it out of metal and aluminum. You just beat it back and it's fine. But come in the 60s, we're still panel beating and making race cars like that in the early 60s. But early 60s to mid 60s, starting to do composite and fiberglass. And a lot of the race cars back then, like the early Bill Thomas Cheetahs, were aluminum formed. And then they would take a female mold off the body of like the first two cars, and then they could just pop bodies out of fiberglass. And at that point is really when things changed to doing fiberglass work for race cars and things. So that sort of is when this art, coach building, died, because it wasn't as important. It wasn't as utilitarian as making something out of fiberglass. If you all out there want to build a prototype or see your dreams come to reality, just like I do, and you're only going to make one, then building it like this is still an ideal way to do it. Because if you're only going to make one of something, why on earth would you want to make a giant buck mold and then make female molds and then make bodyworks? By the time you get a bodywork, you've already spent a ton of money on molds that you're never going to use again. So just figure out how to coach build out of metal, make that, and then someday if you want more, you can invest in doing molds just like they did in the middle 1960s, kind of like Bill Thomas and whatnot. So Red, White, and Boosted here writes, will ITB, individual throttle bodies, set up, design, and build be in the curriculum for students in 2021? Seems fitting of the design. Well, as a note, the King Zero build here is my build personally, just Casey Putsch, okay? Not actually a Genius Garage thing. It's cool because the Genius Garage guys get to learn from what's going on, and they've never seen it just from being here through like osmosis and looking around. But in terms of ITBs, our IndyCar up there already has ITBs. So, when we work on that or other things, we'll learn from it. But I hate to say it, ITBs are cool and they look cool. It's no different than a carburetor or any other fuel injection. It's just, you just happen to have a crap load of butterflies on every intake, So anyway, but that's kind of it, guys. This is still a totally relevant and beautiful thing to get shapes. For me, in finding, I really wanted to feel and vibe the art of the Italians at the time. So building a wire form buck like this, which is honestly no different than what the Italians did back when. It was the English that were more into the English wheel and big wooden bucks. The Italians were more like, hey, let's make some wire form out of steel and we'll take this plenishing hammer and just make stuff that fits over it. And this is sort of what they did. But anyway, the wire allows me to very subtly get curves, okay? So I'll just give you an example if I can find something around here. So this is 1/4 inch diameter cold rolled steel. It's pretty clean, it welds really nice. And I can easily bend it and it'll flex back, okay? But if I want to gently bend this to where it yields, you can bend it like in a tight area. I could put a kink, but I'll literally kind of bend it until you can feel it start to yield, like you go past where it's springy, and then it puts a bend. You notice the bend is tighter right here and lesser out here. So if I need to focus the bend now in that area, I can kind of yield it. And you see what a nice, gentle bend I can put in something just like that. And then I can literally, and sometimes I'll literally just put it on my stomach, like here I'm bending it back a little, kind of flatten it out if it's not right, right? So then if I need to change my curve, I can just do it like, I'll just literally bend it on myself, right? And I can look at it on the drawing like this, and then, depending on where it goes, like let's say I need to start making the edge of how the windshield will open, well then I can just look on it right here, and I know, okay, it needs to be a little straighter here, right? It needs to bend a little more right there. Okay, there we go. And then that's how you do it. Right? That's literally just how you do it. It's not that magical, you guys. It's just 2-dimensional, 3-dimensional space. Somebody writes here, Red, White, and Boosted, writes, B is for Bill needs you as a feature on their channel for their Corvette mid-engine formula type car. I don't know if he does that. I think the guy's really cool and I appreciate his build. Maybe we'll get to meet up someday and do something cool. I'd be into that. But yeah. Okay, somebody says they absolutely love the wheels in the King Zero. They scream 80s. Yeah. Appreciate it. Those are Gottis. I bought them because they were the closest looking to kind of the vibe and the time period that works that I could afford. And I bought all 4 wheels with the tires on them for like $1,500 off eBay. Somebody took them off their 911 because they were feeling kind of Porsche snobby and wanted to go back to something stock. Because Porsche snobs, they don't like modded 80s stuff. That's too crazy, right? So I got them cheap and I put them on here and they're perfect. So whatever. I don't know. It's less talky. Dude, this is live. Okay. Would you want me to dance? Play some music? I don't know. Somebody writes, before I forget, will the King Zero have integrated seats or separate seats? Tales from the junkyard. They'll be integrated. You want them to lay down. I want the interior to be sculpted, really cool, very organic. So you get in and you lay down. I haven't decided on the exact design of the seat yet, but it's going to be interesting. The other thing is the colors or lack thereof and materials. That's going to come to be. We're going to do the paint scheme contest, both with offering a 3D model of what the final product will look like with all the aero enhancements and such on it that you can color if you so choose, or JPEGs, monochromatics. You literally print them out and color it with whatever you have to send in. So that's going to be fun. So, the interior is just going to kind of reflect that. Somebody writes, what do you mean my Porsche is not 100% stock? What is it with collectors and stuff? They get to a point where they only want things stock and they care about numbers matching and stuff like that. At what point do people get to like an age or collectability or like wealth level? They're like, I want everything to be a certain way and I want them in boxes. Like, whatever happened to just, continually growing and getting through life and adventuring? Life's a journey. Stop being collectors. That's lame. Whatever. That's me. Somebody writes, please dance. No, because long ago, before I met my wife, I went on a date with this girl who had a hunter jumper horse. Okay. And I'd never been on a hunter jumper horse. And we did not go hunting, but the horse did start jumping. And I came off the horse and I hurt my knee. And that's my excuse for not dancing with you right now, even though it's just totally BS. And I could. Ha. By the way, everybody who say modern racing is dangerous and they cry and they need all the safety gear, oh, please. Of all the racing I've ever done, including motorcycles, I've never gotten hurt. But I have gotten hurt way worse many times on dates with women. So there you go. Dating is far more dangerous than motorsports. And if anybody wants to know, I'm just telling you right now. So, if you're a young person and your parents won't let you go racing, but they let you go dating, I think they should let you go racing too. You're welcome. Yeah. Quote me. I'm going to get canceled. Can I get canceled off YouTube? Somebody writes, Mordecai, not sure if this was asked already, but your point in space device, did you come up with that yourself or was it inspired by something else? Great point. Let me go find it. Oh, Aaron's got it. What's up, Vanna White?
That's right. I'm watching the stream.
Okay, Aaron's got it. Yeah. So here's the point of space device. Let's see if you guys can see this. All right, I'll come back here. So it's pretty heavy at the bottom. It's got this sort of T shape, and there's a washer on it that I use as a sight. So the floor is currently gridded, and I can use that as a plane and find a point in space from a longitudinal axis going forwards and back and a lateral axis. So I find my point in space, and then the finger, I made this so I can slide it up and down on the vertical axis and then find a point in space. So for instance, if I want this point where all that stuff intersects, I just find it here. And then if I need to mirror the car, then I just go over here and mirror the car. So honestly, I never saw one of these before. And it was like necessity is the mother of invention. I don't know if people make these or use them, but when I decided to do this build, I'll be honest, you guys, I've never coach build a car before at all. I used an English wheel once on to fix a little part of a Lotus 11. And to do this, I just thought about it a lot. Yeah, that's it. I thought about it, okay, using things I've already done and just decided, well, I can do this, that, and that, and I can do that and that and figure this out. I should be able to do it. So I just decided to do it. And I knew I needed to find points in space. So I just figured out how to turn the shop into a giant, I don't know, Casey modeling machine, the CMM. Yes. And which brings me to another interesting point. Somebody said to me, and I hope I didn't sound too snarky getting back to him. They said, once I'm done, will I laser scan the car to put it in a computer so that if I ever get hurt, I can fix it? And I had to say to that person, I'm like, why would I waste the time to put it into a computer to help me fix it if I got hurt when I already built it without a computer? Like, I mean, guys, you got a computer right here. It's better than the computer I'm using right now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I exist in space, right? This is space. Look, I'm dancing. Does that make you guys happy? Like, right, like up, down, left, right. Just figure it out. Just think about it. Draw it on paper. Make your dreams reality. You know, just think about it. Like, think. Use your brain. It's the best computer you got, you know? So that's what I'm doing. And I just think this will work. So it's working so far. Somebody writes, do I need to study engineering or build a car? Do you mean study engineering to build a car, or do you need to study engineering or build a car? Why don't you do both? Sounds like a good idea to me. Andrew Decker here writes, keep doing your thing, Casey. We should set up a show and tell in the garage. Tickets starting at $25 or $50. Less time for setup and more profit. Win. Okay. That'd be cool. You know, maybe. The other thing I got to point out is there's a certain aspect of reality I'm finding out about being a YouTuber, such as right now connected to people on many continents, with hundreds of thousands or potentially millions of people watching you. There's a certain amount of, well, I don't know. Like, this shop's not that big. I don't know how we do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't figured this whole public figure thing out entirely yet, so I'm just winging it. Yeah, but that's a fun idea. Maybe we could do something like that. We'll do a Casey show. It'll be ridiculous. We'll hold it in the theater. Oh man. Okay, somebody here. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, I'm here by myself. You guys are talking. I'm not getting any feedback, so I'm just naturally gonna be a goofball. Oh, hey. What? Hey, Casey, it's Gene. You should put pop-ups on it. Gene, no pop-ups on that. No, it'll ruin the aerodynamics. I see what you mean. I get it. By the way, Gene, dude, Hamster Man, your 6-wheel go-kart is here. You need to drive it. You need to drive it. Are you too busy with school or something? We got to do stuff. Like, I've got some ideas for you to build cars and stuff next year. I'll throw it out there. I hope you guys are well. Say hi to your family for me, buddy. All right. Who else we got here? This person writes, Casey, I designed a few cars, a modern take on the Bentley 2-seater speedster, an Audi Peugeot race car, and a classic Jaguar XJ13 GT convertible. Just don't have the technical skills or money to build. I get it, man. It's taken my whole life to get to the point to be able to do this. Somebody writes, what happened to the Viper? For you, Ryan, about what happened to the Viper, I have a home, like a semi-normal person, and there's a garage, so it lives there. It doesn't live here. Somebody writes, you ignore my super chat, Casey. Danny Meyer, where are you? Hold on. Wait a minute. Dude, Danny, where? I'm doing the best I can, guys. Wait a minute. I got to find this. Danny, type in your super chat right now. Don't have to be, just type it in the comments and like in caps and I'll find it. How about that? I got you. Red White Boosted writes, has a network channel approached you yet about making Genius Garage into a build-off type show? Oh, God. You know, somewhat. They're always production companies. They always suck. They always kiss your butt and BS you. Like, I have grown a bad taste in my mouth about Hollywood in general, TV channels, production companies. Just like, they just waste your time. They just want to give you a bunch of BS and try to sell you on it so they can stick their thumb on you. Screw them. Screw them. I mean, like, you know, if one of the networks from Discovery Channel calls me or something and they're not just trying to like use me for like, just like, it's not good. TV is dead, you guys. It's dead. Let's just let it die. Okay. I got lots of experiences there. Oh God. One of which we'll go into that story another time. Actually, forget it. I don't even want to go down that route. I've got crazy stories relating to TV, just not into it. This person writes, Red, White, and Boosted. How did I know that would set you off on a rant? Ha ha ha. Because I have opinions, and if I don't, I'll form one and share it. Aaron saved me. You're still here, dude. Aaron's still here. He's listening to this. He's not giving me any guidance.
Danny super chat.
Did you find that super chat?
Yep.
Danny Myers?
Yep.
What is it? Where is it?
Wondering if center seating makes any difference to visibility issues you mentioned before. Keep up the great work. Love your channel.
Okay, yes. So Danny writes, wondering if the center seating makes any difference to visibility issues you mentioned before. Keep up the great work. Love your channel. Danny, we got you. All right, so you guys, let's talk about that. I'm going to jump in the car and tell you exactly what I think. Because first of all, you guys, there's not enough room for 3 seats in this thing like a McLaren, unless you want people to tuck in the fetal position there. And I'm just not going to do that. Here's the problem with single seat cars. You can't get a girl in them, right? So, you know, like, I don't know, what percentage of the fun of having a cool street car is, you know, taking members of the opposite sex for rides or scaring your buddies? A lot. If you have a single seat car, you know, you can't do that. So I'm going to jump in there. Somebody writes, hey, Casey, what type of engineer are you? Degree? Question mark? I'll come back to you, sir. Okay. Center seat versus sideways. Okay, so I'm jumping in here again. Yeah. Okay, so as I'm sitting in here, I got awesome forward visibility. I can see my feet, which is hilarious. It's gonna be amazing to look at my feet while just like bobbing down the highways, right? It's a little funky here. I lose some visibility and seating, but if you're moving fast, so there's a little bit of issues here in terms of being able to see, less here. So on a road course in America that goes counterclockwise, or goes clockwise, it'll be easier to see apexes. So there are some blind spots. I may do the camera a little bit of window to see some stuff here. If I were to move to the middle, let's see what happens. It doesn't really help that much. It makes this worse and that better, but slightly. So if you're in the middle, it's a little easier to see apexes. But being on the side, I can still see them just fine. So I don't think it really is worth it. It doesn't matter that much. And then if you start getting into things where you stick your head up higher or bubble the windshield, it's not the same cool design. Somebody writes, Casey, what type of engineer are you? Degree? No, I didn't go to school for engineering. Because I got shanghaied into going a crap direction in my university, originally for product design, because I want to do transportation design. And Ohio State University has a garbage product design course. I'm not afraid to say that. I doubt it's any better. And I despise my college degree. And when I got in, I didn't know any better. I had no good guidance in life and direction to go. Spent all my time with engineering friends and doing things at their automotive research center and learning fabrication and all. So I guess you'd say I'm a practical engineer. And I also do want to point something out in real life. You all realize there's this really neat place called a library where you can get books and have them shipped in for free and read them. And there's these really cool people out there in the world called mentors, which might be they might be free to talk to. And you can learn lots and lots of things at your own pace about anything you want. And you don't have to spend lots and lots of money to get a piece of paper to tell you you're good at something. Because let me tell you what, I've met zillions of engineers with a piece of paper that can't do squat in the real world, make anything, or engineer their way out of a wet paper bag. So you keep your degree. I'm going to build cars and race cars and airplanes and go win. So I guess I just wanted to say that. But much respect for everybody who gets an engineering degree out there, and I like to put that out there. Oh, somebody says Casey is kind of a dick, and he's Mark Zuckerberg. Yeah, sometimes. I have an opinion. I don't care. Like, the world likes to push you down, right, guys? Everybody wants to try to control you, and I just am not putting up with it. And generally, I try to make the world a better place and build things and help people out and mentor and do Genius Garage. And I just don't care if you don't like me. And if that makes me a dick, then, hey, call a spade. Fine. Somebody writes, Daddy Casey is never wrong. Speaking of Daddy Casey, check out these dad shoes. Yes. I'm wearing the shop shoes, actually. Somebody very nice sent me some new dad shoes. Yes, but I don't want to ruin them. Oh, my goodness. All right. What do we got here? Somebody writes, most engineers make things an absolute pain in the ass to work on. Haha. True. It would be vastly helpful if mechanical engineering students had to have lots of practical knowledge and doing something to learn from the past and learn older techniques. They might come up with great things for the future if they did. Just good food for thought. Always good to learn from history, right? Anyway, oh my goodness, people are writing funny things. Somebody writes, honestly, a-holes get stuff done. And I sort of paraphrase that a little bit. Oh, this is funny. Somebody writes, thanks for responding to my half-drunk email of thanks and encouragement to the kids you teach. Hey, man, half-drunk's okay. I didn't know. You didn't have to tell me. All right. Okay, so you guys, you're blowing me up here. Oh, wait, somebody says, just rewatch your 944 video from last year. Do you still have that 944 light pod cover? Are you going to make a rally light pod? Tell you what, I'm going to go get it right now because I think I'd sell it. I don't think I am. Let me go find it. I'm running. Watch as Casey runs through the shop. Yeah. Yes, I actually knew where it was. Okay, so here's the reason I still have this. One, I'm partially a pack rat. This is for a Porsche 944 or 24, and it's a sweet rally light pod. I had to get it it came from like the south of France. I could only find one. I don't know where you get another. And the darn thing cost me $400. So I'm hanging on to it. But if somebody really wants it, a 944, 924 rally light pod, $400, PayPal it, it's yours. You pay for shipping. Okay, that's that. So it's sticking around until I feel like it, but I've been holding on to the darn thing for years. Oh, goodness gracious. Somebody writes, Casey, what's your dream car? And would you upgrade from your current Viper to a Gen 5 Viper? First of all, I am offended by you saying that would be an upgrade. I relate perfectly well to my Viper and its personality, and it's just fine the way it is. Honestly, my dream car right now is this right here, you guys, the King Zero. Build your dreams, right? And then I'll have another dream someday, and I'll go after that. But my Viper is still just a great, companion. I love it. It's great fun. I'm just not going to get rid of it. I would consider getting another Viper someday, maybe if I have room. I don't know. I really want to get an early red RT10 with the 3-spoke wheels and no locks or soft top. I'm kind of into that. So anyway, okay. What else you guys got? Somebody says also wide body a car or some kind. It's going to be so wide, you'll have to spell thick with 3 C's. All right. Somebody says, is the King Zero at all related to the Dome Zero concept? I actually do not believe so. I think they came from the same time period of when, the school of folded paper was in vogue. But I don't believe they're related. I don't think it's the same designer or even the same country they came from. Well, maybe they are. I don't think they're related. Look it up, you guys. Dome Zero is cool though. What else we got here? This person is from Portugal. I've been to your country. It's very pretty. Let's see. Oh gosh, I lost it. This thing's blown up. Darn it, where did my Portuguese friend go? Yes, and I'd love to create too, but in Portugal, it's hard to do that. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Hey, come to the United States. It's really cool here. Our politicians are lunatics, but the country and people are awesome. You can build your dreams. No joke. It's great. It's still a great place. Don't let the media ruin everything for everybody. America is still a cool place. Okay. Oh, this could be good. Dylan here writes, any reason someone couldn't use wood to prototype and design a chassis roll cage? And why would you use an existing car chassis versus building from scratch? Great question, Dylan. Yeah, you can totally prototype body and out of wood. It's called a wood buck. For me, I just design stuff in my head and do it because I don't have time for that. Nobody got time for that. The other thing is, why would you use an existing car chassis instead of building one from scratch? Time and money. Okay? My lifespan is only so great. I only have so much time. I want to use it as effectively as possible to do all the cool stuff I want to do before I theoretically shuffle off this silly mortal coil, right? Boom. That's one reason. 2, I'm not magic. There's no magic money tree. Hey, Aaron, where's the money tree?
That's a great question. We absolutely...
Fast and the Furious money.
We have one of the leaves from the money tree.
Oh, we have leaves. Woo, make it rain. No, there's no money, man. Like, building a chassis from scratch is time-consuming, expensive. Like, I could use the Porsche, cut it up, use the suspension, the bulkheads, and get myself there much quicker. I don't really want to build a chassis from scratch because to me, a chassis is just a structure. It just needs to be rigid. You just need to have certain geometry of things in your suspension. I mean, people have built about everything out there already anyway. I'm more into like the art and the concept of how you put it together and the usage of it. So you can, by all means, but it's a lot of time and money to make a chassis, and you got to design it too. Now, that being said, I want to throw something out there. Next week, I'm meeting with a really cool person in Ohio that has jigs to make really great mid-engine car chassis of any wheelbase I want. So he's really good at that. And I like what he's got going on. We're going to have a collaboration going because next year I'm going to build some insane things. Insane. Completely insane. In a good way. Not really insane, just really cool. And I hope you guys like it. So I'm excited about this collaboration going. And I'm going to mention this now. I hope you guys are excited. I'm giving consideration to, in the next 2 years, designing my own car, which I probably only do one in my whole life. The Casey car, whatever. We'll name it something cool. It'll be mid-engine. And it'll only be sold as a rolling chassis and body and such, which means anybody that wants it has to be able to build it themselves. So I think that's pretty neat. In the next couple of years, maybe. I hope you guys will enjoy that and are sticking around. Somebody writes, why do people not put torque converters on the backside of a manual transmission? What do you think the advantage would be if you were able to do that? This is from Shay Fox. When you say backside, I assume you mean in lieu or in replacement of the clutch. That's been done. Jim Hall in the Chaparrals in the 60s had a torque converter on a 2 or 3 speed dog engagement box. That was back in the day when tire technology sucked and they couldn't stick. So he was able to make that work. They also do that in the off-road racing world. So if I ever wanted to build a Chaparral replica type thing, I could just get one of those off-road racing transaxles with a torque converter instead of a clutch with a dog box that you can shift like that. So that's kind of that. Be a more in-depth discussion to go and beyond it. Somebody writes, have you explored the SEO comparo of changing the channel name to Genius Garage or other? I mean, I'm not going to do that because this is my channel, man. And I'm told my last name is too hard to pronounce. But truthfully, I think Casey Putsch, in terms of search ability and SEO, has a little bit better bang than Genius Garage. And since this is my personal channel, I just like to use this as an opportunity for the adventures and things I'm going on and showcase something I think is cool, which occasionally is Genius Garage, and I can bring them more exposure. It's not, I'm not going to rename me to Genius Garage. That's not what this is. This is my channel. And frankly, I'll be perfectly honest. I don't have time or money to create another channel for Genius Garage. I'm doing the best I can with this, right? I'm going crazy. Okay. All right. Let's go back here. What else we got here? Somebody, he's got merch. Damn it. LOL. I don't know how that relates to. I'm really liking this car. It reminds me of 917 with the far forward seating. Yeah, kind of true. Totally different vibe to the body though. Somebody writes Casey Boosh. I don't know what that means. You're too ahead of the curve for me, man. Somebody writes, change your name to Avalon King. No, I will change my title to Avalon Casey Putsch, the Avalon King. I don't really know what that means. Dave will probably like it. By the way, you guys, that stuff does actually work. I need to put it on my 944 because it's starting to look terrible. It's been out and I don't have time. That's sad. So yeah, anyway, it's really good stuff. You guys should try it. I've got it on the Viper, obviously. I got to put it on the Aston, the 944. But I'm too busy building a car right now. So everything's dirty, including myself. Ooh, good thing we have a computer and the internet separating us right now, guys. Okay. Where is your Keeps commercials? Ha.
Ooh, you also missed a super chat.
I did? Mm-hmm. No, this is the torque converter one.
But no, there was one below it that expired.
Show me.
Right here.
Aha! Red, white, and boosted!
Again.
60s off-roader, comma Bronco, comma Scout, comma FJ40. Which would you build if they all cost the same? Ooh. What do you mean by 60s off-road? Are you talking about the rest of them? I might go FJ40. Like, that's not my scene entirely. I could change that opinion quickly, but I think I'd go FJ40. And when it comes to off-roading, I'm more into I'm like a sandrail kind of guy. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like a mid-engine race car off-road or motorcycles. But you guys are funny. I will defeat Casey with my new Ferrari Pizarro Tortellini. That's funny. This is like watching The Simpsons. Somebody writes, what's the age range you typically accept into Genius Garage? Currently, it's collegiate age, 18 plus, just because you need to be a legal adult to be part of that. Once in a while, I'll mentor a younger person if they come here with their parents and I have time. We also did a Genius Garage Junior program at a public slot car track in the Detroit area where fans helped sponsor, where we got 124 scale slot cars and tools and things like that for the kids. They were aged like 7 to 13, and their parents would bring them out and for a few hours on Sundays for a couple of months, and we had a really cool program. So I hope we can, keep doing more things in the future as Genius Garage grows, and hopefully as my public reach grows, that can bring more support for Genius Garage. And obviously I need to be able to hire people to teach and mentor because I can only do so much. All right. Somebody writes, Shave Hawks, not to replace the clutch, but to go with the clutch. That would not be helpful. You're combining worlds that don't need to combine. It's kind of one or the other, man, depending on the usage, if that makes sense. Okay. Tales from the Junkyard. Hey, Casey, just wanted to let you know that I loved your story about the model you made in high school. I had a similar experience in college, really hindered my experience at the time. Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Hey, Aaron, is that model around here somewhere still? You remember seeing that? Is it up front?
It might be up front.
Do you mind grabbing that?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, thanks, man. Okay, I'll bring the model up here. Brandon Rouser from Canada writes, you taking the Stratos rallying? I assume you're referring to the King Zero. I might off-road it to be fun, but I'll pick and choose where I go because I don't want to absolutely trash it. And to do that, I'll have to remove all the aerodynamic effects, so it's more short for rally-esque type thing, which would be cool. I might do it for fun. We'll see, because I'm going to be a silly YouTuber, but rallying is really hard on cars, man. And when you spend this much time building something, it's kind of hard to want to beat it up. That's why I got the sand rail, so I can off-road. But we'll see. I've got a cool intro on my channel of power sliding the Viper in dirt, so maybe I'll have to power slide that in the dirt sometime too. Okay, somebody said something about Avalon King. Yeah, somebody wrote Dome Zero is Japanese. Good point, but I'm not sure if the Dome Zero is a Japanese designer or if it was an Italian designer for a Japanese manufacturer. I'm not sure. All right, what else we got here? Use guys. Somebody here, Danny Meyer writes, what's your favorite car from before 1950? Oh, look at that. Hold on a second. We'll go to the 1950 thing before I forget. Aaron, what's your favorite car from before 1950?
I don't have any, really.
You don't?
Nope. I don't really think about that area.
You're not on the camera. Get in here.
I'm on camera.
Oh, there you are.
I don't really think much about cars from before
1950. 1950.
Because I'm just such a Gen Z zoomer.
Yeah, Gen Z zoomer. Can you floss?
My niece taught me this.
You can't. Your niece taught you that?
I'm cursed with this information.
All right. Pre-1950 favorite car. I would probably say the Silver Arrows cars, the Auto Unions, and the Mercedes cars from the late 1930s. Let's never mind where they got their money. Let's just consider how cool those cars were and what they did back then. I'd say those were my favorite ones from back when. Somebody writes, Tales from the Junkyard. Hey, Casey, just wanted to let you know that, this is the model. Here it is. Okay, so yeah, this is my model from high school. It's from high school. Give me a break. Made it out of wood. You guys can see that clearly this was inspired by the nature of the Stratos Zero done by Bertoni, Marcello Gandini back when. It's got a ridiculously short wheelbase because I was a high schooler and I think that's a good idea. And I made it and it lights up and it's really cool. And my teacher was pretty blown away by it at the time. Really great guy, meant a lot to me, and I've kept it all this year's course. And actually what I'm thinking about, you guys, maybe in the next year or two, when I want to design a car, theoretically to sell as a kit car, what I may do is do my modern, adult take on design that I originally came up with in high school. I know it sounds silly, but I think it could be really cool. And I think given another shot at this, I could have something that has that same really neat flair and all, and make it something pretty epic. So we'll see. And even if nobody wants it, I'll make a prototype for myself. And if nobody ever buys one, that's cool too. But if there's orders for it, we could take deposits, make the molds, and get ready to tool up. So you never know. All right, what else we got here? You guys got some news stories coming up. Nuno Xavier writes, Hey, Casey, loving the build and what you're doing with Genius Garage. Looking forward to see it on the road. I have a Sterling Nova kit car getting dust and rust, but share the same passion about odd cars. Much love from Portugal. Hey, man, the Sterling, if I'm not mistaken, is a really cool car. That's the one that's super, super low and pointy, and the whole windshield like opens up like that to get in. I think those are really great looking, and I hope you get the opportunity to finish restoring that and building it up. So I dig it, Nuno. Thanks for writing. And Shay Fox writes, hire them all. Hire who all? You didn't give me enough context, man. Shay, just write in all capital letters. Hire who all? The students? The people? Maybe. Actually, two of the students now, Aaron can't go. He's busy. What do you got, classes on Thursday you can't skip?
Yes, I got classes on Thursday.
He's got classes on Thursday he can't skip. Get in a video. You kill me with that. Stop that. It's funny. I don't know what to tell you. So you got physics on Thursday next week?
Unfortunately.
So we're going to go build this cool race car builder dude and see all these molds and chassis building things and whatnot. The other two guys are going. One of the guys is going to graduate in a year, and he wants to be a professional machinist, welder, etc. And the guy that builds the chassis and the race cars and stuff has a hard time finding talent. So I'm like, you guys come along. We'll have a fun day, and this guy may hire you in the future. It could be a really good thing, or maybe you'll team up with him in business. So that's what's fun about Genius Garage. We have everything from like CEOs of publicly traded companies to, you know, guys with smaller businesses that want talent. And every Genius Garage student is different, maybe wants a little bit of a different life direction. And it's fun to just give them opportunities to connect with places they wouldn't otherwise, so they can, you know, chase their dreams. Anywho, all right, see what else you guys got going on. Speed Greed. What's up? Thank you. Hey, Casey, have you considered bringing the King Zero to a Hot Wheels Legends tour? It would be awesome if you won and got it made into a Hot Wheels car. I agree, and thank you. I've thought about that. The problem with it is they need the rights of the shape and everything to do it. The King Zero, I do not want to make commercial in that way. It's just a one-off art thing for me, for fun. And I thought about doing it with the Omega car back here, but I hate to say it, but what I was seeing from like the Hot Wheels thing and other, it's kind of like if I became like a reality TV show star, they stick your thumb on you and they have too much rights and it just doesn't seem to make sense. So I'm just going to be rogue and do what I do and not let the man get me down. So no, I don't think I would. I think it'd be really cool to have models, but I don't think the way they normally do it would really work out for me in terms of, you know, I don't know, that sort of businessy way, if that makes sense. Okay, this person writes, when you wire the factory loom and ECU to the PMW, please make this is how your do it type video. I will. I'm a little nervous about doing that. I think it's gonna be a pain in the butt, or it might go really easy. But honestly, the thing that scares me about the factory loom is I hate, with the fiery burning passion of 1,000 suns, fly-by-wire throttles. It scares the crap out of me. I have a deep mistrust for electronic items. I don't trust them. They spontaneously screw up, and I don't like the idea of my throttle being connected to it because it's just there to try to kill you or blow a motor. So I don't know. I'll go stand alone when we go to do quad turbos in the future. So hopefully it works out. But yeah, I'll do videos on that. Don't worry. Somebody here writes, oh, it's about Nelson Ledges. Will you be coming to Nelson Ledges road course for any events or testing? Also, when will we find out how you build the Omega car and what it's made of? Seriously, you're killing me. Haha. You're never going to find out how I built the Omega car and what it's made of because it's experimental and it relates to giant global reliable manufacturing techniques. So some secrets I got to keep to myself in case I ever have the opportunity to be in a business position to do it. Sorry, but I'm not Elon Musk sharing stuff because the Chinese will just steal it anyway. A guy's got to have a few cards up his sleeve, don't you think? As far as Nelson Ledges go, I've been there once. I think it's a cool track. I've heard it's got repaved, so that might be really fun. And the Boom C4 track car, the blue one, that's my car. So I could take it out just for fun sometime. And the Formula Continental, the yellow car over here, when I get that done, I could take it out as well. And I think both of those would be great fun at Nelson Ledges, and it'd be fun to possibly meet you and other people there. So we'll see how next year goes. I know, and honestly, there's a chance I'll be racing, frankly, a Formula car on the road to Indy next year. So I don't know what my schedule is going to be like. I'm starting to get tired from talking. My stomach hurts. I need dinner. All right, we're going to go for another 6 minutes, guys. It'll be the live hour, and I really appreciate you all being here. I hope this is fun. Somebody writes, does that V12 have a Vanos on it? I just got done rebuilding the whole top end of a Range Rover I picked up, which was totaled out because of that system. Vanos, I'm assuming, is like what's on a Porsche, which is like, what, variable cam timing? No, it's not. It's old school. It's got a chain. Like a man, chain to drive your camshafts. They stay in one place. We'll see. Anyway, Speed Greed 78. What's up, man? He writes, hi, I live in the UK, and I'm currently just about to finish getting my one of 20 in the world 1978 TVR Tamar Turbo back on the road. Super excited. Yes. I want to see pictures of it, man. Hit me up on Instagram sometime, but good for you. It means a lot. I think in some ways, being in America, we take it for granted. Just the freedom we have, and I don't mean that I'm not like going on a big political tirade or something right now, but like honestly, the freedom to make crazy hot rods and stuff and get to drive it on the road. That crap would never fly other places, but we do it all right. So I'm glad we have that culture. And so when I hear about somebody restoring something really cool like that in the UK or Europe, a lot of respect. So right on, man. This person writes, Red, White, and Boosted. Can you commission a Johnny Lightning model where you own the right to sell? Maybe. That'd be cool. I don't really have any connections to people like Hot Wheels or Johnny Lightning or Amalgam Models or whatever. Maybe sometime in the future we could do that. Honestly, what I think would be super cool is to connect with like Carrera or Scale Extric or Fly, one of the slot car companies. To do some slot cars, you know, maybe we could do a deal where like, you know, some of my mainstay cars or Genius Garage race cars, we could have some slot cars. I think that would be awesome. And that'd be especially cool if we get to do Genius Garage Junior programs with slot cars and buildings. So that could be really cool, but that's a good idea. I only have so much time to go around, man. So we'll see in the future. But if you guys got a connection to any of the, you know, toy car companies that they think they'd be into something like, hit me up. I'm open to talking about it anyway. Whew. Okay. Casey action van model. That'd be funny, right? Somebody writes, laser scan, 3D print a vacuum bucket and form bodies. It's a good idea to make radio control car bodies or 124 scale slot car bodies, etc. Sometime, but dude, like my wife and I bought a fixer-upper house. So when I'm done working on this, I got to go home and work on the house with my wife and then try to spend time with her to treat her right. So I just live in the shop all the time. So I'm kind of short on time, but hey, man, you know, it's a good idea sometime now, hopefully. Okay, gonna be out of here in another 3 minutes. You guys got any super chats you want to hit me up with? Hit me. Hope you're enjoying the live feed here today from the shop. Somebody write, what takes longer to do? Fix the house up or make a car from scratch? Make a car from scratch. Promise you that. Depends on how bad the house is, I guess. Opinion on Ferrari 412s. Meh. They're okay, I guess, if they're stick. But my opinion is they made ugly Ferraris too, okay? It's okay. It's from the time period. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I love Ferrari, but I gotta be honest, lately, the company freaks me out. Like, as a YouTuber, I'm actually, like, the way Ferrari is, I would almost be afraid that if I bought a Ferrari, whether it's vintage or modern, and I just wanted to modify it, even tastefully, that I'd end up getting some legal cease and desist, like, you cannot modify the beholden bequeath from the gods stock Ferrari. Like, I don't even know if you could do that anymore. Like, if I get a Ferrari and modify it tastefully, I'm not talking about putting on, like, some crazy paint scheme or doing something distastefully, but like, can I do that? Can I build a tube frame Ferrari powered race car with a Ferrari looking body on it like they did in the 80s? Or is like Ferrari corporate going to smack me around? I don't know, but like as a company, they freak me out. And I like Ferraris, but it's kind of scary to own one unless I guess you just spend loads of money on stock cars. I don't know. Intuitive thoughts on electroluminescent paint. I think it's cool. I haven't done it yet. I like EL paint and sheets. I've done some stuff with the sheets and the tape in the past. Red, White, and Boosted writes, he'll email me the info to get a scale model. Appreciate it. That would be cool. Is that Johnny Lightning or what company? All right. Hey, I got from the Casiello. Hi from Italy. Big fan. If you ever need a translator or interpreter, let me know. Keep up the good work. Hey, I appreciate that. hit me up on Instagram or something to write it, because I get a lot of communication going on. I'll forget, but I appreciate that. Yeah, someday it'd be really cool to go to Italy. In fact, I was just talking with somebody when this is done. How amazing would it be if I got a sponsor or something to have it shipped over to Europe and I got to go bum around Italy? That would be amazing. That'd be so cool. Oh my gosh. Yeah. So who knows? Maybe, man, I will need a translator because I don't speak Italian. America's kind of big, and I didn't get the opportunity to study many languages. I studied German in high school, but I didn't get to use it that much. Okay. Well, guys, it is 6 o'clock, so I should get out of here. Somebody writes, the Commendatore wants to know your location from the grave. Well, why? Because I like to build race cars, and I just want to build race cars, and street cars would just be for that. And I only care about racing, and I'm not afraid to make something dangerous and throw a pair around and build stuff old school, just like the Commendatore used to do. Yeah. I'm more into the old school way of doing racing, like I think Enzo might have been, rather than just a bunch of suits. All right. Somebody writes, go King Zero. Any German quotes? Quotes in German or German quotes? My dad used to say, he's like, heads will fly. I'm like, Dad, the term is heads will roll. He's like, my DNA comes from Germany. It's heads will fly. I don't think that's actual quote. Probably just from my dad. All right. Let's see. All right. Last one here from Fat Pod 00. What's the #1 donation to Genius Garage that would help aside from cash? An Indy car that works, because Genius Garage is a really cool collaboration going on with Miles Ahead, the mini challenge thing for next year at the Vintage Indy events at IndyCar races. So the current car that Genius Garage has, it's just a giant paperweight and money pit. So an Indy car would be helpful for them. Tool-wise, tools. Aaron, what do we need tools-wise? A big machine bandsaw? A big bandsaw would be helpful.
Bandsaw would be nice.
Aaron, what do you thought anything would be particularly handy right now?
Right now, I really see that the lift would be nice, but that's not really...
I don't know, man. I appreciate it. We're doing pretty well. It's just the biggest thing right now for Genius Garage is just getting the word out enough that I can, frankly, attract some real support, you know, like some tier 1 corporate type stuff. But the problem is getting Genius Garage big enough and polished enough that the suits get it to support something like this. Because the problem with nonprofit out there in the world, and I'm not saying this like out of personal disdain, I'm saying this out of what I've realized. Nonprofits are way better structured if you're wealthy and you want to do it. They're really hard to build from the ground up. So I'm going to keep fighting and see where I can get it. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. I don't know. Somebody writes, sheesh, it was just a joke, guys. What, people losing their mind over a joke? Ausgezeichnet. Whoa, somebody freaking out. We got some snowflakes losing their mind. I don't know. Hopefully like this. Hopefully it goes well. I appreciate you guys all being here, and that's it. See you guys next time. Oh, last one. Hey, I'm just getting into cars as an 18-year-old, and I want to say you're a huge inspiration. Connor O'Brien, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate you being here, and thank you for the super chat. Bye, guys.